Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Total world victory of Hare Krishna. Welcome back to another Bhagavad-gītā class by me. Today we're doing Bhagavad-gītā 3:11. Let's get into it. Hold on. We're having a bit of technical difficulty. I'll give time for people to join. Your dad. I went live and I can't get the
Are you still live?
Yeah.
Yeah, resize the window. Resize that window.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Second tab. Second tab. So window.
Oh.
Second tab, yeah.
Okay. You did it. Okay. Bhagavad-gītā 3:11. Devān bhāvayatānena. Bhāvayatānena. Devān bhāvayatānena. Te devā bhāvayantu va. Parasparam bhāvayatāh. śreyaḥ param avāpsyatha. Devān demigods. Bhāvayatāh have been pleased, and anena by the sacrifice. Te those. Devā the demigods. Bhagavayantu will please. Va you. Parasparaṁ mutual. Bhagavayatāh pleasing one another. Śreyaḥ benediction. Param the supreme. Avāpsyatha do you achieve. Translation. The demigods pleased by the sacrifice will also the demigods being pleased by sacrifices will also please you, thus nourishing one another. There will reign generally prosperity for all. There will reign general prosperity for all. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs. The supply of air, light, water, and other benedictions for maintaining the body and the soul of every living entity are entrusted to the demigods, who are innumerable assistants in different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yajñas by the human being. Some of the yajñas are meant to satisfy particular demigods, but even in doing so, Lord Viṣṇu is worshipped in all yajñas as the chief beneficiary. It is it is stated also in the Bhagavad-gītā that Kṛṣṇa himself is the beneficiary of all kinds of yajñas. Bokartyam Bokaryam yajña-tapasām. Yeah, I find reading K after T a bit difficult because in the English language, I don't know if any words have a T directly after a K. There's usually a noun in between. So yeah, going from that to KT, is that? I think it's a sound. There's not really. I don't think there's any English words that have that. But yeah. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of yajña-pati is the chief purpose of all yajñas. When these yajñas are performed perfectly, naturally the demigods in charge of the different departments of supply are pleased, and there is no scarcity in the supply of natural products. Performance of yajñas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from the material bondage. By performance of yajñas, all activities become purified, as it is stated in the Vedas. Araha sadhu sattva sattva sadhu Dhruva smrti labhe sarva grathinam vipra moksha. I'm getting there. Eventually I'll be able to read it just like English. As it will be explained in the following verse, by performance of yajña, one's edibles become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified by the purification of existence. Finer tissues in the memory become sanctified, and when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation, and all those combined together lead to Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the great necessity of present-day society. Whew, there we go. Looking at the differences, it's the original Macmillan edition says, will also please you, semicolon, thus nourishing one another, there will reign general prosperity for all. And it's been changed to, will also please you, normal, comma, and thus, comma, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. It's an interesting change. See if it's okay. Yeah, that's something else. Anyway, yeah, when it changes from nourishing one another to by cooperation between men and demigods, there's a change in sort of meaning, at least for me. But I think there's a change in meaning. By cooperation between men and demigods, sort of means that they're doing stuff together. While nourishing one another means, that there's a like it gives me a better understanding of the verse. There we go. When it says nourishing, then cooperation. Well, when it says nourishing, I get the sense that the humans perform the yajñas to nourish the demigods, and the demigods in return supply all the material needs. The supply of air, light, water, and other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul. Every living entity are entrusted to the demigods. There we go. So yeah, cooperation doesn't really. Yes, it's not direct. Yeah. Hope I explained that well. Will reign general prosperity, and being changed to prosperity will reign for all. Will reign general prosperity, prosperity. What does it say here? There will reign a general prosperity for all. Prosperity will reign for all. The reasoning behind the book changes is that they're making it closer to the manuscript, where here in the original edition there will reign general prosperity for all. Manuscript, there will reign a general prosperity for all. Okay, and then they've changed it to prosperity will reign for all. Okay. There will reign a general prosperity for all. Prosperity will reign for all. I mean, yeah. It's going further away. And there might be the reasoning that it's fixing proper grammatical structures. Will reign general prosperity for all. Prosperity will reign for all. Because I think when you say the king's reign or the queen's reign over is them being the king, you don't say there will reign king of them. So yeah, it's changing it to like a more proper, grammatically correct sentence. Prosperity will reign for all. Makes more grammatical sense than will reign general prosperity for all. Which is, it's fair, but the whole case point of the changes is to take it closer to the manuscript, and this is, although small, a whole lot of small changes like that will eventually take it further and further away from the manuscript, which is the opposite of what they are saying. So yeah, there's no meaning difference. So yeah, there are some changes where they've changed the grammar previously, and in the future where there's been grammar changes that have been required, because it clarifies it and makes it understandable. But this is not one of them. It's just why not change? Okay, so the next change, the body and soul of every living entity are entrusted to the demigods, is entrusted to the demigods. One implies past tense and one implies present tense. They are entrusted. Wait. No. Are can be past and present tense. They are over there. Or yeah. So in this case, when it says they are entrusted to demigods. It can mean past tense and it can mean present tense, but the is cannot imply past tense at all. Yeah, it only implies present tense, so that's sort of the change between those two. Manuscript probably says are. Where is it? Yeah, are entrusted. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yajñas. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent. A-N-T to E-N-T. There we go. Thought I was going crazy. I'm like, these two are the same. Do they have two different meanings, or is it just a spelling thing? Let's see. Dependent. Yeah, it's just the spelling error, I think. Yeah. Oh wait, didn't highlight it properly. Never mind. A person who relies on another, especially family member, for financial supports. And then dependent with an E. Contingent on or determined by. Person who relies. Oh wait, it's right there with an A. So yeah, technically they do have two different meanings. But I dependent. I wouldn't have read it as anything different. But yeah, I guess they do have two different meanings. Not sure which one is the correct one. In the manuscript, it says, where is that? Dependent, two sentences down. Depend. That's with an E. Yes, there's an E. So in the major manuscript, as an E here, it is dependent with an A. So I'm guessing that's been an editorial choice, but yeah, that is technically going closer to Prabhupada's manuscript. Dependent with an E. I think it might be the right one. Just because it has determined by, dependent. Yeah, determined by. That seems right. Determine, you could change dependent to determined by, and the sentence still works. Their pleasures and displeasures are determined by the performance of yajñas, or dependent on. Yeah. The next one, yajña-tapasām. Yajña-tapasām. It's being hyphenized. Ultimately leading to liberation from the material bondage. Ultimately leading to liberation from material bondage. See what it says here. That is just before the Sanskrit. From the material bondage. Okay, so it says the material bondage in the manuscript, and the material bondage has more of a here we go. To be present, entrusted, past, part. Okay. And then, so are entrusted is the present continuation of a past state. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You know, when it says are entrusted, it means the continuation of it. It is being entrusted previously, and it is continued to be entrusted presently. There we go. Well, is does not imply that. There we go. Thank you for that. So yeah, it says the material bondage and then from material bondage. I'm not sure if that changes the meaning of it. Yeah, I don't know why they would change that. Anyway, going on to the next change. They've changed the changed the Sanskrit a bit. They've moved that down a line. To the next line, and then they've dehyphenized these two. There we go. And then it says, as it will be explained in the following verse, by, and then it's being changed to straight by performance of yajña. And then a comma has been moved or deleted. So that change. By the purification of existence, comma, finer tissues and memory become sanctified. When memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation, and all these combined together lead to Kṛṣṇa consciousness, great necessity in present-day society. By purification of existence, finer tissue in the memory becomes sanctified, and when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And sanctified, and when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. Yeah, there's a lot of commas in the sentence. I'm not sure how that changes or even if it changes the meaning at all. I don't think it does. I think it just changes the way that you read it. But yeah. The previous change before that, it says as it will be explained. There's a long explanation here. The deleted clause appears in the original manuscript, but the topics here mentioned relate not to the following verse, but to text 13. Even that verse, however, doesn't give the detailed explanation Srila Prabhupada gives here, which in fact is a paraphrase of the Vedic statement just quoted. I therefore chose to leave out the reference. Okay. Huh. Topics here do not relate to the next verse. Explain in the following verse. In charge of various necessity of life, demigods. Ooh, getting spoilers. In charge of the various necessity of life, demigods is satisfied by the performance of yajña. In the praise of the Lord, at least all kinds of sin because they eat food which is often which is sacrifice, otherwise if they food for personal sin enjoyment. Huh? And then it says by the performance of yajña one becomes sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified. And then the next one says, Okay, well, you know, huh. You know, I would expect that Prabhupada knew what he was writing when he wrote, as it will be explained in the following verse. Yeah, and so when you, because it does talk about being satisfied in the performance of yajña supplies all necessities to man. And it's like, okay. And then the next one, varies the Lord race for all kinds of sin because they eat food which is offered first, sacrifice. Okay. It's a paraphrase of the Vedic statement just quoted. I therefore chose to leave out the reference, as it is stated in the Vedas. As it is stated in the Vedas. I wonder where that is stated. But okay, yeah. As it will be explained in the following verse. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, as Prabhupada wrote it, I would have expected him to at least know what the next purport was as he was writing the thing. And so, as he says, it does appear in the manuscript. So, but it does not, but the topic mentioned does not relate to the following verse. So yes, again, the explanation for the changes are that they're going closer to the manuscript, and then here it just blatantly says that it's in the manuscript, but we're just gonna get rid of it anyway because maybe there wasn't understanding of what the correlation between that and the next verse was, or whatever. But yeah, it is just blatantly not going close to the manuscript. Okay, and that was all the changes. Yeah, some of them okay, like dependent, and some of them not so good, like getting rid of that. There we go. Yeah, talking about the actual purports. Yeah, this part here is talking about prasadam and eating a food that's being offered, which I think is classified as a yajña. Also a very easy yajña. Make some khichdi or whatever, and then offer it to Kṛṣṇa. He'll have a little nibble, taste it, and then purify it, and then it's being sanctified, and you eat it and you become purified. And so part of Sankirtan, the previous verse that I did yesterday was talking about Sankirtan as look at that, I'll show it for the people who weren't here. It talks about the Sankirtan Yajña being easy and sublime for all purposes. Part of the Sankirtan Yajña, is prasadam distribution, or can be prasadam distribution. as it gives people the opportunity, one's very existence, by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence becomes purified. By the purification of existence, as it continues, one can think of the path of liberation. So basically, it's saying you eat sanctified foodstuffs, you become liberated. You can think on the path of liberation, which leads to Krishna consciousness. And there are probably countless stories out there of people. I think my dad, happened to him, goes to the Hare Krishna Center up in Auckland and eats some of the prasadam there. And look at him being a devotee for like 27 years. Been a while. So yeah, there are probably countless stories of people eating the food and then coming into Krishna consciousness, because it does lead to that, and it even says that it does. And that's proven by there being examples. I was down at the parliament when everyone was there, and Abai was cooking up a storm for people. And I was doing books, and the most popular book by far at that point was The Higher Taste. They were flying off, and people were giving like $50, $20 for Higher Taste, because people really wanted a higher taste after having those experiences. So I'd be explaining the book. There's some recipes in it. It talks about vegetarianism, talks about some of the spirituality behind it. I really do enjoy The Higher Taste. I gave that a little read while I was there. But people really are, they really resonate with the prasadam. And so part of the Sankirtan Yajna is prasadam distribution. And so that's part of the purports. And then when these yajñas are being done, the demigods are satisfied, as it says, thus nourishing one another. We nourish the demigods by doing Sankirtan Yajna, doing other types of Yajna, offering food. We will then receive supply of air, light, water, and other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul. There we go. And it also says here that the yajñas, the primary beneficiary, the chief beneficiary, big chief, is Lord Viṣṇu. So and Krishna is the beneficiary of all kinds of yajñas. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of the yajñapati is the chief purpose of all yajñas. I'm going to guess that yajñapati means the person who receives the yajña, which I can. Isn't it usually? I guess not. Wait, is it here? It isn't. Copy. Supreme Personality of Godhead of the name yajñapati. Is your tiny chart Rita? What? Anyway, I'm just gonna assume that. But the The performance of yajñas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from the material bondage. By performance of yajña, all activities become purified, as it is stated in the Vedas. It says that. So yeah, doing the yajñas have side benefits. Maybe you do like a yajña for money. Like not sure what the yajña would be, but a yajña to get more money, and getting the money would be a side benefit, but the yajña would be sort of an addition on the path leading to liberation. It might not be as much as some of the other yajñas, but yes, it still would be that. Yeah, sort of purport. Contemporary application. Sort of went through that already, but the eating and distributing of prasadam will lead to the path of liberation. I think that's why you offer your food, or offering your food is the normal before eating, and that will nourish whoever you're offering it to, and they will reciprocate the same sort of thing. Yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of different I'm thinking about it now. There are a lot of different yajñas to different demigods. They got different sort of styles, stuff that you do. Not exactly familiar with it, but there's a whole different culture outside of just kirtan and stuff. That there's a whole different bunch of yajñas outside of Sankirtan, which is the main yajña of Lord Chaitanya, which is basically what we do all the time. And there's a whole bunch of other ones. The different demigods. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's sort of the application. Offering your food, eating it, leads to the path of liberation. Okay, so going to the Tereo Mori part. Whew. I'm getting better at reading this. Third time. Here we go. Ka wakahari na atua iti ai na wakahone wakahonore ka wakahari hoke ai e ko anama te mai tai o na tangata me na atu iti ka rangatera tira rangatera te oranga mo te katoa. Whew. Hope I said that okay. If there's no Tereo professors watching this right now. But yeah, hope I said that all right. So ga will, future tense, be pleased. Oh yeah, I get that. Wakahari, be pleased. Na, the plural. Atua, gods. Iti, small. So demigods. I, by. Na, the. Wakahonore, sacrifices. Ka, will. Wakahari, please. Hoki, also. I, in, at. A, indicates the direct object. You, kore, you. A, and then A with the line. Oh no. These are pronounced differently, but I'm not exactly sure what's the difference. A, I, maybe that's it. And na, so therefore, my, Oh, yeah, mai, by, te, the singular, mahi, work, tahi, together, or, of, na, the plural, ta, tangata, men, me, and, nai, the, atua, gods, iti, small, lesser, so demigods, ka, will, rangatira, reign, be chief, te, the singular, or ranga, prosperity, well-being, more, for, te, the singular, atua, all. There we go. So will be pleased the gods small, will be pleased the demigods by sacrifices, will please also at you, and therefore by the work together of the men and the demigods will reign prosperity, will reign the prosperity for the all. Yeah, so it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I did say I would get this thing working, and I forgot to get it working. So I don't think. Yeah, I didn't get it to work. Anyway, to end off, we'll go back to the original verse, switching to another language. Normally, before the Tereo Modi parts was implemented, the daily Bhagavad-gītas were bilingual. Now we are trilingual. Maybe we'll be quadlingual. We'll add like a Spanish component or something. Well, yeah, that might happen. So devān bhāvayatānena te devā bhāvayatāntu va parasparam bhāvayatānena śreyaḥ param avāpsyatha. The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, thus nourishing one another. There will reign general prosperity for all. Whew. There we go. That was Bhagavad-gītā 310. I hope I didn't say 210 at the beginning. Bhagavad-gītā 310. Oh, 311. My bad. It was Bhagavad-gītā 311. Thank you guys for watching live. If you enjoyed any of the content that we do, make sure to tag a friend and share it around. And I will be back next week, maybe even tomorrow. You never know. I'll be back again to do some more Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 3. And yeah, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, total world victory of Hari Krishna. Have a good morning, good evening, or good night for the people who are watching afterwards. And yeah, again, I will see you later. Hari Bol.